How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Man, we're happy today. We got our torque converter in. We actually got a lot of parts in for the go-kart today, and we had ordered the torque converter for the Predator 212 engine. We got this from GoPowersports.com. I'm going to show you what comes with it, and we're going to get to mounting this on the engine. So that's going to be our little project here. We're going to get this guy mounted up, the torque converter mounted up. And I'll show you guys what comes in with your torque converter. Alright everyone, this is the torque converter. This is what comes with it when you get it from Go Power Sports. You're going to get your mounting plate. You're going to have a belt, a cover. All the mounting hardware is here to mount it to your motor and both of your pulleys. This is the whole setup, and I'll tell you, this is very heavy. This is not cheap. It's not cheaply made. This is very heavy. So definitely seems to be a very good quality part. So let's go ahead. We got the 212 Predator engine. We're going to be mounting it on there, on the engine, and getting it set on the go-kart, because we got to start mocking this cart up so we can get our axle and stuff put in. But I do believe once I get this on here, if I need to move it around, I should be able to move it around a little bit once it's on. So, but we want to get an idea of how it's going to set up on there. So let's get to putting this guy on. Now, in order to mount this guy on the table, mount this on, I took a small piece of angle iron and just sit underneath the back end of the motor, because the back of the torque converter sets down enough that it won't rest on the table flush. So I put that small piece of angle iron down underneath here just to hold it up until we get it over to the cart. I do believe the cart that I'm working on already had a torque converter on it, so I think I can just set it down on there once I get it over there. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy bolted up on here. Now, before I get this bolted on, I think this is a good idea to take a little bit of Antiseize and go over these bolts. Just a little bit, just enough to keep them from seizing up. I've noticed a lot of them guys, they put that stuff together and then it seizes up. So we don't want it to seize up. So we're going to use just a little bit of Antiseize on it here. And hopefully if we ever need to get this guy off again, we'll be able to get it off again. Okay, with our Antiseize on there, we're going to go ahead, and I'm mounting mine in the center bolts here. The center ones right in here. We're going to go ahead and get these all finger tight. Once we get them all finger tight, we'll get a ratchet in here and we'll get them snugged up. You know, before you use any type of impact wrench or anything on these bolts, make sure you can screw them more than a few turns by hand so you're not cross-threaded in there. I know a lot of these guys want to use impacts on this stuff, but it's not always a great idea. So we're going to go ahead and get this tightened down. Okay. That sure looks fine to me. Looks good. Okay, I wanted to show you guys one more thing here. This torque converter has two sprockets.
you can see you have two sprockets here. And these two sprockets are used for different size chains. If you're using a smaller chain, you're going to use this one. If you're using a bigger chain, you're going to use this one here. We're going to be using the bigger chain, so we want to use this one. So I just wanted to let you know that it did have two sprockets with it. In case you're ordering one of these and you're not sure it's going to fit your chain, I don't think you'll have any problem. We have both sprockets inside there. So let's get this all back together. We're going to go ahead and finish this guy out here. Okay, now we have our little pin in here. It's a little bit tight, but if you just take a little punch and just tap up on it very lightly, we can pull that out of there. Now, we're not going to be needing that piece. Now, we have the spacers. Here's the little spacers that comes in our kit. I rubbed them down on the inside a little bit with some little bit of grease, not much. And we're going to slide these guys on here, and I'm going to wipe off any grease on the outside of this guy. We don't really want a bunch of grease on it. I just put a little bit on there to make sure it moves around. And then we have our inside plate here. Now these have the keys already in them, so you're just going to slide them. Hold on a minute here. We got our washer in there, now our spacer. We're going to put this guy on here next. Okay, and then they give you a small brass sleeve that's going to go over that. A little snug getting a belt on here. Okay, now that we got the belt on there, we're going to stick this guy on, and don't forget it has slots in it. So, and it's already keyed, so it's going to go on like so. And then this guy, you're going to slide him right on like so. And you'll know you have it on right when you have these two slices. You want them to face it out. There's two cuts right there, one there, which is going to line up with this cut and that cut. So you're going to put that on like so. Now, I would suggest doing just a little bit of anti-seize on your bolt here. I'm an anti-seize kind of guy. I like to use anti-seize on just about everything. And then this little guy here has a key on it too. You can see right there, it has a key. And it's going to slide right into the slot. Now this will take a 1/2 wrench, or I think a 13mm, to tighten this down. Okay, now back here we're going to have to tighten this bolt back here. We're going to snug it up, and this guy will be just about finished. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this guy tightened up. We're going to use an impact, but now we're not going to just raunch on this thing. We're just going to snug it up. This has a lock nut on it. It has plastic on the inside, so that's going to keep it on there. I have my air ratchet turned down as low as I possibly can. So now, basically, this guy is finished. So everything is done. This would be the cover that would fit over the top of it, but we're not going to be using that cover right now because we want to get it on the cart so we can line our chain up. Alright, now having the motor on this frame And having the torque converter on there is definitely going to be a lot nicer now, because we'll be able to align our sprocket up and see where we want our axle in there. This is definitely going to be a good setup. Well, we're one step closer to getting this cart built. We got the torque converter on there. I want to tell you guys, listen, if you're looking for one of these torque converters for the Predator 212 engine, I'm going to leave in the description for Go Power Sports, so you can pick up one of these torque converters. I think this is going to be a great little setup on this go-kart, and hopefully it'll give me a little bit of an advantage over the other guys. I know Justin's using the centrifugal clutch, but we're going to see. We'll see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment if you'd like. And then, yeah, don't forget, click the little bell down there so you get them alerts. Till next time.